110, 140 are kind of like the minimums that I would like to do, and obviously have it be pain free. I'm pretty sure my knee sleeves are at the gym, because I haven't been able to find them in my house, so we're gonna use wraps again. But we have a singlet on. I'm gonna warm up without pulling the things over, because this is what you do. So I've been doing yard work, working on the hill up there. So that's been my excuse for being. I can say I haven't necessarily been lazy because that's pretty productive to do. But I've got the Romaleos on today just because I didn't feel like going back in the house and getting the tears. I haven't worn these a while for a training session, but we'll see how they feel today. Look at the singlet, the bird. It's really not uncomfortable to wear for training. It's just getting used to getting it on. That's kind of the main thing. That is a little bit annoying. Alright. That's my buddy's old singlet. It's the same one as my red one that I have. I think it's the same size as well. It's too wore out to be able to tell, but it doesn't feel any different. And based on our body weights, I'm pretty sure it probably is the same size. But yeah, once you get a singlet on, then it doesn't really, you don't really notice it. But it's the process of just getting the things over your shoulders becomes, or it is kind of the most annoying part of the process. But thankfully, at least with the virus ones that I've always worn, I think the first meet, powerlifting at a strength shop one, the virus ones are really comfortable, which is interesting because their tights are really terrible at staying on, but their singlets are comfortable. But it's one of those things that doesn't make too much. I mean, obviously, does. You just want something that's comfortable and doesn't look weird. But this one, pretty comfortable, which means for me it's super stretchy, makes the belly look big, which is not usually ideal. But so we're gonna kind of treat this not as a true competition day, but no music, similar, obviously, equipment that I'd be using. What's up, Daniel? But I could be using the other red singlet. It's the same size, like I said, and the same brand and everything, so it literally won't make a difference. But we're gonna use thumb tape till 100 kilos, and then take the thumb tape off. Practicing snatches and clean and jerks. Like I say, practicing today because get the singlet on and all of that. So get ready for next week. good to just feel that you have a feel the singlet on. It doesn't make too much of a difference, but the feeling of it on is certainly something that I think is good to get used to a little bit, but certainly not something I would choose to ever wear. I don't understand people who do that, who just train in a singlet randomly. I guess it probably makes you more focused for competition, but unless you're getting ready, then I don't see the purpose of it. But yeah, we got it here. PlayStation? No, I haven't bought a game system in a while. What's up, Daniel? Last game system I have is a Xbox 360, and I just got thrown away the two that I had, so I don't use those. But yeah, Daniel. So today we got the singlet on, so we're gonna try to work up. I mean, the minimum goal I put 110, 140. I'm not really like Saturday is gonna be the day where I push hard. Today is practice, so no, I don't play kids games. But yeah, so I have to remember to take my thumb tape off at 100 kilos because it will always slip. But till 100, usually doesn't feel bad. But no music or anything. I actually got the raw Malayos on. I don't know if I'll wear them at the competition or not. Right now they actually feel really comfortable on. It's usually my left foot feels weird in them, but I'm not having any discomfort with them now, so it might be fine. I don't really care what shoe. Um, the tier ones are good. These ones are good, but these ones are a little bit more narrow, which is usually um, not ideal. But right now they don't feel bad, so we'll go with it. But I've been doing yard work, so I'm relatively generally warm. Obviously, teaching all day. Got a lot of sun, so I use a ton of sunscreen, so I shouldn't really be sunburned, but I am quite white. So I guess this would be kind of similar how I would warm up for a competition. I've also contemplated warming up with muscle snatches or not. I probably won't. Not like I will do them that heavy or anything, but I might just do them at the meet just because it takes a while to start lifting once you weigh in. But at most I would do, absolutely most would be 80, but probably not even that, 70. Just to pull something. But, whatchamacallit, I got burnt, what was it, Friday? I think it was Friday, so I forgot sunscreen. We were out all day teaching the kids about tug of war, and I got cooked. I got absolutely slammed by the sun, but I felt like today I got a little red, but I think that was just because my arm's actually a little tan now. I felt like I kept spraying sunscreen. I'm like, there's no way I get burned. There's no way, but I think it just felt hot, so I was outside. because I was putting on a ton of sunscreen. But I mean, these would be normal ones I take in training. You mean same ones I do in the competition. So that part is always consistent. So the only different of my ensemble is that I'll wear like the training tights underneath the singlet, and that way I can get my knee sleeves on if I wear them up easier. Wear a local college's visor. That would be pretty. I just wear a Cleveland Guardians hat, but I actually have never worn a visor. But hats are certainly, I mean, when you're outside 5-6 hours, you definitely need a hat. But no, I dress pretty much, obviously not like today, but just wear athletic pants and a t-shirt. I don't really do the full ensemble. Harry with one H, can't even spell Harry correctly. I feel like we had another person that was on here that couldn't spell their name correctly. Got very upset about it. Harry Potter. It was Gary, that's who it was. Gary with 2 R's. I miss that guy. That was when my power went out, I remember. I went out for like 8 hours. Good old Gary with 2 R's. Gary, come home. Harry with 1 R. It is just terrible. I agree. Any point, both my arms are just going to snap right in half. I'm just looking out for a toto. It's Hari. However you say that. Or is it Harv? Oh, it is Harv. That's how blind I am. I'm gonna be calling him Harry. I'm just gonna call you Harry. I like that name better than Harv. Harry. Harry. one almost did me in. Hagrid can tell this guy he's a wizard. Harry, you can settle down there, buddy. You know, I don't like that you're insulting my vision. That's pretty ableist of you. Unfortunately, I wasn't mispronouncing your name. I'm blind, so pretty toxic, honestly. Come on, Harry. I thought wizards were better people than that. Harry, can you settle down, bud? I know you can use magic to lift weights up, but us muggles can't do that. Wingardium Leviosa. Not Leviosa. Leviosa. Remember when that happened to you, Harry? To your butt, to your boy? Wasn't very good. That's kind of lift Harry would do. That was like a Harry kind of lift. Trying to live like Larry, not Harry, you know? Harry, I'm taking 10 points from Gryffindor. Yeah, I mean, that's true. He's all Harry, no Larry. I'm in no. I like how Haggard comes in here. Haggard, have you met Harry? I'm in the Balkans. I'm not in Arkansas. I'm a Balkan lawyer named Legal Beagle. I give unsolicited and unwarranted and bad legal advice for free. That's what they call me in the Balkans. Yep. There's the Legal Beagle hitting some weights again. He's gonna break both his arms. If that happens, I'd sue the weights. You have no right to not lift. You raise me up. If I sang that in the courtroom, easy legal victory. You know, Harry, that would be an insult, but I have no idea who you actually are. Or who that actually is, I should say. So, I mean, that, honestly, I'll give you credit. That could be a great insult. It could be the most accurate statement ever uttered, but I have no idea who that is. So, I don't know. I'll just, you can have that win. You've been taking a lot of L's today, so you can win that one. Good job, Harry. I'll give you 5 points back to Gryffindor. You're not getting all 10 yet. Just because you didn't even say hi to Hagrid. Hagrid comes in here being nice, and Harry won't even talk to him. I'm gonna tell Hagrid to take you back to the Dursleys. Take you back, drop you off under the stairs. A little on front, but it caught it a lot better than 90. Hopefully, Harry approves. This tape's staying on really well today, but we're gonna practice taking it off, because I know it will be slippery. All right. Larry, that was definitely, I'm going for Larry lifts, that's for sure. All right, Harry, I'm sorry, I got to take 5 more points from Gryffindor. You're back to net 0. Or net negative 10, I should say. You got to get yourself together, man. You're costing your house a lot of points today. Pretty sad. Pretty sad state that Gryffindor is going under today. And someone's letting out some dad sneezes. That was some pretty impressive stuff I heard out in the neighborhood. That's a level of sneeze that I try to aspire for. One that can be heard across the neighborhood. All right. I hope Harry likes that lift. I did it just for him. If he says it's a good lift, I'll give him 6.9 points for Gryffindor. If he says something about my arms breaking, it's going to be negative 50. Oh no, Harry looks like he's Hagrid, take him back to the Dursleys. Get him out of here. Imagine being Larry right now. Larry, that's a bad. He's not Larry. Imagine being Harry right now. He's not being Larry. Imagine Harry if you were Larry, or maybe even Harry. All right. So 115 is a good weight. So 110 is the minimum that I already hit. 115 would be really good. I'm hoping it feels like 110, and then we can crack it 120, and then see. Definitely not more than 120 is the limit today because I want to go real heavy on Saturday. So make this good. Are you proud of me, Dad? Harry, tell me you love me. Just Gary. Gary with 2 R's. I mean, the best part of the Gary was just how upset he was that he didn't spell his name correctly. Oh. I'm going to do a cover of the Gary Come Home song. Except the Gary will have 2 R's. I'll have to find a profile picture of Gary with 2 R's. I wanna go home. Greedy belly. That's pretty toxic. It's all power. I only had a couple cookies today and a piece of cake and dark chocolate. What am I supposed to do? It's free desserts. It's Teacher Appreciation Week. Oh. Alright, so 115. That actually felt really good. So we're going to hit 120. I'm going to spike it into the shelf. Break the shelf, or I don't know what. That would actually be a scary thing. It'd probably break the shelf or bounce off the shelf or break a piece off the shelf and then shoot me with a stake, in which then you'd find out that I'm actually a vampire. Because I sprayed garlic in here. So all the wood is soaked in garlic, so I would actually, I'd be no mas. What does Harry think? But then, take it out. I've actually thought in here of, not like throwing stuff at it, but like if I took out the shelves, how I'd have more space, but everything's nailed in, so then I use it, it has all the plates and stuff for, storage. So it has a utility, but it would create more space. But because like then my squat rack could just be on the floor, but the amount of effort that would take to do would not be worth. Plus, like the shelves are useful, so it's not as if they're like not used at all. All right. Whew. That was good. I'm really happy with that. Oh, my belt almost took me out, but that one felt really good. And it's interesting because like it feels as good as it should today because I lifted heavy yesterday, and so sometimes when I have sessions like that, granted I didn't do a lot of volume with those sets, but sometimes I'll still feel decent, and then I'll just move slow. What's Harry? What Harry's turning? 10 points. I'll give you 10 points for Gryffindor. I'll encourage your positive behavior. But so that's the top set of there. And now we get ready for clean the jerks. Thank you, Sam. But yeah, real happy with that 120. I mean, the best part, obviously, no music in a singlet, no misses, getting up to 120, which would be the last lift I do in the back room, and then go to 123 to open up. And it have it. I mean, I was talking about the shells right before I did the lift, so I'm like, not even like I don't want to say not focused, but like, you know, you know, I'm not over here tweaking out in the corner, resetting the song to the same 30-second portion. So that part's good as well, because that means that there's the Super Saiyan aspect that you can still dive into. I do definitely need to wear like the full like pants because these are actually like cutting into my legs. They're not used to actually just having the wraps on top of them. It's kind of like I'm used to having obviously underwear on. I never go commando. That would really be uncomfortable. But having training pants on and then usually sweatpants or something above it. But like it pads this area, which warming up, when I was at the 80, 90 range, you feel a little bit of like rub against that area. And when you train a lot, it just sometimes some of the area just gets, irritated. More so actually, well, for many reasons in the summer. The first is that you wear less clothes in the summer, of course. In the winter, I'll have, underwear, training pants, sweatpants, and so like there's just more cushion in general. But in the summer, obviously there's less. But also, when you sweat more, it's gonna be drippier, even with this kind of, track, Under Armour stretchy material. Which don't wear cloth pants in the summer. I did a session just wore underwear and like sweatpants, really baggy sweatpants. So I wasn't like too hot necessarily, but because I had just any amount of sweat, it just was like grinding into my thighs, in my legs. That's like when I see now I can lift 120. Yeah, 120. So definitely 140 in the clean jerk. I would like to hit today, and then if that feels good to do, probably honestly 151 again, which is kind of a weird number, but my last warm was gonna be 157, and then I would hopefully open up at 63, but 151 would be like the top that I would want to hit today in general. But when you see chicks that lift in underwear, and I mean, I guess they would call it pants, but it's when their shorts are shorter than my underwear, they're wearing underwear too, and not that it's like they shouldn't be able to wear whatever, but when I see them having their thighs completely uncovered, this I just stop there. I sound like some sort of biblical person, but when they just have like their thighs there, I don't really get like, oh my gosh, they're showing their legs or whatever with that. I just think I'm like, how are they ever like trained and not just tear up their thighs? Like, I know you're not supposed to make like crazy hard contact or like rip it up your leg or whatever. Um, but what you call it, when you're like you don't have any like friction there, it would just destroy your legs. And the same, it's like when it's all the way up. And that's what I like notice more. I'm like, how are you even lifting with proper technique if you're not going against your thigh enough to make like obviously like the legs should just be bloody from all that. Maybe I'm just terrible at lifting, but like I feel like when I see that I'm like, how does it just never like catch the like if their leg is like really dry and then at the bar is super dry as well, it like catch the there not be like friction. Like I guess when you get sweaty it might just slide up, but like I feel like if I had really like shorts on, really short ones, and I tried to lift, like I guess maybe because I have leg hair, it would just catch up. Um, well, and that's the thing is like I'm not dissuading them. Like they're just they want to wear underwear when they train, which is fine. I'm looking at more of like the performance aspect of like how do you not like feel uncomfortable with the bar hitting your leg and like it catching your skin essentially on a lift. Like I feel like that would be completely past like whatever feelings about whatever people want to dress like that to me doesn't bother me because people can do whatever, but when they're wearing like the underwear, the volleyball shorts, and they're lifting, it just feels like they would just like they would have just red marks and just destroy their thighs. But I guess maybe they make contact higher and they never brush their thighs. That would be my only guess, but I don't know. I actually don't think I've ever done weightlifting in shorts. I've always had something on underneath, but that's always been kind of my thing anyway. But I mean, there is a good chance I'm bad at lifting. There's a very good chance because it's probably true, but I don't know. It looks bizarre to me. So that's what and honestly, I just feel like they could lift more weight if they just, wore pants. It's just, I feel like you could just train better if you just didn't have to think. Like, to me, I guess that would be too distracting. Maybe I'm just weird like that, but I would just like be thinking about um, oh, yeah, I'm definitely a terrible lifter. But I would just be thinking about like catching, some part of my skin or the irritation and all of that. But when you got, layers on, it's kind of like, people who don't train with a t-shirt for clean and jerks. Like, I don't know how you don't worry about the bar just like skipping off your chest. Like, I always wear shirts when I train, but like, and that's the other thing is like, I don't mind if someone's like doesn't have a shirt on and they're doing clean and jerks. Like, I don't know how they keep the bar like in the rack and just it doesn't just shoot off with like CrossFitters will do that. It's like I don't know how you're not just like it's not skipping off your body like a stone. But that's what it sounds like when I'm saying that. But it's like purely like I guess if I it shows that I don't talk to these these people that often. But like that would be like my question. Like how do you even like how do your thighs not get destroyed from your lifting? Just like how does your skin not just get I mean, if you're training frequently enough, like you're just gonna have like irritation there with clothing on. Um, at least I get it up higher, kind of in the hip crease area. So I guess that even if I had the booty shorts on, that they would still be covering that area a little bit. But I don't know. That's it. I see it. It's annoying from a performance aspect, but um, also would just think like I mean just in general I guess this is just me being a guy but like it would just seem so uncomfortable to walk around in underwear like that like I don't know like that's when I see that it's when you say it's underwear that maybe that's it's mean or whatever but like it's literally like shorter than it's like briefs like if you buy a pair of briefs and walked around in the gym like you'd get some looks but if you're a chick then apparently it's the style but I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand women. Girls be confusing. I mean, frankly, like I don't even like wearing a singlet because it's tight, or like training pants for a while. I didn't like wearing them because they're tight, but the thigh part is really nice. And honestly, that's like if I could just wear sweatpants every day and train, I would. But I mean, when it's this hot, wearing 2 layers of pants is just a recipe for discomfort. I don't even like my legs showing as much as they are now. Like I feel like I'm wearing underwear, like just underwear, I should say. I feel like I'm actually wearing underwear today for once. Yes, I guess deep down I'm like a biblical Amish person. My ankles are showing I'm a floozy. Easter Bunny is not gonna bring me my chocolate this year. I've been showing too much leg. Where is my other knee wrap? Why are you hiding? Why are you running? Oh, I wish I could get into Easter Bunny heaven, but unfortunately, I showed too much leg today. Yeah, I'm definitely a flapper. Clean and jerk, clean and jerk. Oh, yeah. I'm just procrastinating it, but yeah, I do actually, I do actually need to start warming up for him. Sorry in the bar. Just don't look at my legs. I'm in pure right now. I'll edit this. I'll edit my legs out in post. I'll blur them out for the Lord. Lord chuckles the Easter Bunny. I'll put all my ear wraps on to cover my legs so I can be pure again. That's why I wear knee wraps. It's like, do they help your lifts? No, they just cover my legs so I can go to heaven. That'll be a fun turn on my channel if I became a born again Christian. Born! I'm born once and I'm born again! So these are the medium wraps from Hook Grip, and the ones I'm putting on now are the strong, like squat wraps. If you're just getting one pair of wraps, I would get the medium ones. They're good in between. Anything from Hook Grip, they're Hook Grip. So the squat ones are really good for clean and jerks and for squats, but not, I wouldn't wear them for snatches. They're a bit cumbersome, but in kind of like a good way. Yeah, like to be cumbersome for like snatches, but these ones I've used for like whole training sessions all the time for every lift. So they're the most versatile, and they give more support than the. Do I have an old pair? Oh yeah. Than the original ones. So these are more cloth. So I mean, if you just want like something to wrap around, it looks like Lasha. Like the cloth ones are good. I used them for a while. I would use them for snatches now, but these are just a little bit more more strong. And I need all the help I can get to lift these fake weights. I feel bad. Honestly, most discomfort I'm having are the sleeves kind of just like cutting into my legs. It's my just flesh. They have weak flesh, I guess. These are also hook grip. So these are I personally like my black ones because they're better than the red ones. I should just leave it there. Just um these ones have a string. The other ones are Velcro, which I like because they stay on more consistently. These can loosen as you're using them, which obviously you see like they work fine. For me, I just like feeling them on some sort of support. For a while, I used leather ones, but those ones are just. I mean, if you have really bad wrist, like they're good because they don't give at all. These ones, they give a little bit, but um, the the black ones because they have Velcro, and you can get them in any color. But these ones are string, and I believe the only reason I have these is because they were like in one of the Black Friday deals. So I got the one that had like the squat wraps and training pants and threw those in just so I have another pair. So that's actually that's a bonus tip. Get multiple wrist wraps because if one gets stinky, then like me, you can just wear this one while you're washing the other one, so you don't have to have stinky wraps. Knee wraps, never wash them. They don't ever really smell, especially if you usually wear pants underneath them and your legs don't really get that sweaty. That also messes up the wraps. I'm sure there's a way to properly wash them, but they don't ever smell. Mine at least don't. The knee sleeves will eventually, but mine don't ever get that bad. But I usually always have pants underneath. I think that's why most people's things start to smell is that they don't let them air out and they always have them on their skin, on their dirty flesh, on their impure flesh. I personally bathe in holy water before I put any clothes on because I am a pure soul. So if you're not doing that, then you're dirty. You're a dirty boy. But for the competition, I definitely will have the Velcro ones. Just one less thing to think about. I think it feels good. Besides the fact, I keep tripping over my belt. I'm literally the most unathletic person I know. I mean, technically, I'm the most unathletic person in the shed right now. The flesh is weak. I tell you, my flesh is very weak in the sun. These wraps, my thumbs. I got some weak AF flesh. That's my next training block. I want to strengthen my flesh. So it's kind of like that fascia training debate, except I want my flesh to be stronger. So that's going to be my new training method. Strengthen your flesh. It's gonna be really really confusing because all the religious people will be like, oh yeah, this sounds legit. And I'm just talking about weird stuff to make your thumbs not hurt or something. I like the fascia debate because I don't understand what it means to train your fascia. And when they say it's like these people, only arguments you hear people saying in support of it are these people use fascia training, and it's just gatekeeped. So I'm guessing it's just nothing. Um, but also, it's like I don't even understand that. Why would I care to understand that? And it's to me, it's just hoopla. It's a bunch of hoopla. And I think that's kind of like the biggest thing is like if you can't succinctly describe it in a way that makes sense and then have it backed by logic and science, then it's like, why would I even believe that it's a thing or care about it? And you're like, all these famous people use it. I'm like, all right, well, famous people use steroids, so I guess like, is it the fascia training or the anabolics? Like, I'm gonna guess one of the two, and fascia training probably not the main contributing factor. Well, there's like some Instagram guy, I forget his name, but he's always talking about like the fascia, like he's big on that. He's real strong, but he's like, look at these, Uzbek people or whoever, like they use fascia training. I'm like, they also use like anabolics. Like I was like, I guess maybe fascia training works great, but like it's probably the anabolics that help a little bit too, Like if I had to pick, what's gonna get me the strongest in life, fascia training or anabolic steroids? I'm gonna say anabolic steroids are probably. Let's say fascia training works great. I'm gonna say anabolics do 99.9% of the work. Fascia, at best, is 1%. But a lot of people do anabolics. Not a lot of people do fascia training. Maybe that's my controversial opinion, but impact training. I mean, that's all just. I don't understand that because that just sounds like training. Sounds like you're trying to get your tendons and muscles stronger, which is literally just what training is. But I think like Alex Lee is like big on that, and he's, if you can squat this, you should be able to snatch, this weight or whatever. And it's funny because you can say a statement that is true, like if you can squat this weight, in theory you can be able to do this. But that's like what all these different ratios are. But it's not a end all be all. Because then I could, you could look at my deadlift and be like, well, I deadlift 300 kilos, I should clean and jerk 250 kilos, But there's mitigating factors. It's like Alex Lee's squat is going to probably be more correlative to what he can clean because he's just more upright. Like my squat is not going to correlate as much because I'm just not as upright. My front squat is, but I don't know. It's weird because like I think it's a way to needlessly overcomplicate training, and training's really not that difficult. And it's a way for people who are, training like a Kaiser Witt or whatever, who, probably is on vitamins. He probably makes sure he gets his Flintstone vitamin every morning. The way to say like, well, he's doing something different than you. I mean, as soon as someone's like, we're doing something different than everyone else, and it's like this special training, like, so you're taking steroids and pretending that they're not the main effect. To me, it's like, and it's even less interesting now if people are or not. I just like once you get to a certain level, you're like, oh, it's like you just kind of know what's happening. And to me, it's not like I don't pay attention to them because it's interesting. It's like Carlos Nassar. Like once I know someone is, or once they like achieve certain numbers, it's like, all right, you got to start beating the big dogs. Like I don't care about your 185 snatch as a 109. Like you should be doing 200. Like you're taking the sauce unless you're magically the the 1% that doesn't need to. But yeah, and like for me, it's like a health thing. Like there's no purpose with it because let's say that I did it and I snatched. Let's say I responded fantastic, like the best possible. I snatched 170 clean or 210. Like There's people that are doing lots more than that. So it's irrelevant in the scheme of things. And like in America, it's not like I'd get any support to go to a competition to do that. So you need your government body to pay bribes. Like unless I'm West Kids, like I can't take banned supplements a month before the Olympics and get popped and then still compete there. If I get popped, to make an example. So it's like I wish I was making that up about West Kids though. If you didn't know, he got popped for a banned stimulant like a month before the Olympics, and they just didn't give him a ban. They're like, he did it on accident, guys. Sorry, like, sorry, he can cheat, but if I were to take a banned stimulant or something, they would give me the max punishment. But that's how guys at the world level can lift such heavy weights. They just pay to play. Like that's really the only way they can still do it now, because we know what they're doing, and we know they're not getting drug tested. The tests are better. Of course, maybe they aren't. Maybe they found all the secret sauce, the Krabby Patty formula. Yeah, SpongeBob in the back cooking them up meals. Ugh, that felt kind of ugly. NFL is definitely not cleaner. They get like a 4-game ban when they get popped for steroids. MLB probably is, because they realize that it's better to just manipulate the baseballs. I don't know about an AHL, but yeah, baseball, they realize they can just change how the baseballs are made. They've done that several times, like even in the steroid era with like Mark McGwire and stuff. The baseballs were juiced back then, and so they can manipulate. Like this year, they're manipulated to be easier to hit out, and it's not really. I don't even think it's like a debate. Like I don't think it's like a conspiracy. I'm pretty sure it's like they will. I don't think they directly say we want more home runs, but like they don't make the baseballs the same every year. But yeah, NFL, they don't care. It's like a 4-game. Like DeAndre Hopkins got popped for steroids. The guy's a wide receiver. But yeah, like once you're at the Olympic level, it to me, how I look at it, are people that are at the highest of levels, like they have to provide evidence that they are not. That's indisputable, because the assumption is that you are. Because I I find it hilarious. They're like, well, I've never been popped. I'm like, yeah, well, Lasha got popped, and he hasn't been popped, and he got significantly, it's like you have many examples of people who never got popped. Lance Armstrong never got popped. You have all these guys who, cheat or use whatever, and they don't get caught. But, oh, I'm clean. Look at this one drug test. Like, yeah, congrats, bro. Like, Ilya Ilin passed all his drug tests too. That's not to say that you can't do anything at a high level naturally, but I mean, how did Usain Bolt not get tested positive for anything, and every single person below him in the record book had to cheat? I guess he just worked harder. I mean, in some ways, literally, he did. Just had some help. But I mean, that's just like, oh, where are you? You just not genetic gifts. I'm like, yeah, a lot of that be true. You put me in the same life as Usain Bolt with all the drugs that he was on and had to use to get to that level, and I wouldn't run as fast as him. That's very true, but two things can be true. But, well, for me, it's like they would have to do that once a month, every month. the whole year and then not lose any strength or whatever their sport is, not lose any ability. But I wouldn't even like at that point it becomes too like cumbersome as far as like even if someone was like I'm gonna do this and blah blah blah, like it becomes difficult like to just do that for a year, 12 times or whatever. But you don't really need the drug test to know what they're doing. People have been doing it for a while, and once you get to a certain level you kind of just know what you have to do to continue to progress or to maintain. And I'm sure there's exceptions. There's someone that's in a C session at the World Championships that's never taken a steroid in their life, but you've never heard of them because they lift for Norway and they snatch 140 at 85 kilos. It's just a phenomenal lift, but it's like you don't ever hear of that person. You hear about the Tian Tao or the Lu Hua that's doing a 170 in the A session. That's the bigger shame. So you have people who do monster lifts at fantastically low body weights that are just overshadowed by guys that just get institutional support to just roid out to their heart's content. Which is fun to see, but it's like it's not fair to those people that don't want to destroy their livers. Or maybe they do and they just don't have the country support. Alright, this 140 might be rough, but we're gonna make it good. Better. Or better on 120. A little forward, but we'll redo the wraps and do 51. Thank you, Yusuf. But yeah, the punch of the evidence is on the person claiming to do impossible things. But you just wish they could just be honest and then just have, the roided up Olympics and the ones where they drug test you crazily. But people would go to the natural ones and still cheat. Because people are just, they're kind of losers like that. But the enhanced games are just kind of a funny idea because none of those guys are going to break any records because all the records are guys getting state-funded drug support. Because, like, you'd really, at a minimum, you see people tying records or getting close to them, but you're not going to have anyone getting anywhere near anything impressive at those kind of games. And you have to wonder why. You'd have to get your noggin a-jogging. They're all just not taking drugs. How are all these guys taking drugs and, well, they don't have as much natural gift and don't work as hard and blah, blah, blah. I don't know about that, buddy. Haters say. Alright. Where are you, Mr. Half Kilo? Yeah. I mean, even like, I watched Cleveland, their pitcher, or closing pitcher, Emmanuel Clase, when they first traded for him, got banned for like, I think it was like 50 games. He was still in the minors, but he took Boulder Run, which is like a drug weightlifter stake. And I'm pretty sure it's pretty easily detectable, but that's honestly like one of the funniest things with baseball. It's how all the Dominicans and all of the Latin American people become really good baseball players. They do two things really well. I guess three. They play baseball really well, which is helpful. But then they lie about their age, so they're 16 for 4 years. But then they take a bunch of anabolics as well. Whether they continue to take them or not is anyone's guess. But like, they have zero incentive not to take them. I mean, are they really drug testing kids in the Dominican Republic, or young adults who are been 16 for 4 years? They're really doing that? Probably not. And they have every incentive to take drugs. So it's kind of like, it'd be weird. It'd be weirder if they didn't than if they did. But that's why you have a small country like the Dominican Republic produce a whole bunch of baseball players. Is the same reason Bulgaria was able to produce a bunch of weightlifters. It's a lot of drugs and a lot of wine. The age thing helps them a lot too. Because I mean, if you can get someone that's 20 on, to have been on drugs since they were a teenager, and then, say they're 16, they're going to get a lot more opportunities than, if they're just a 20-year-old. But I'm sure major league teams know it. They just don't care. So why would you? You get some guy that can throw 100, and he says he's 20, but he's been 20 for, the last 4 years. Like, he still throws 100, and who cares if he gets popped in single A? You can get him up. There's so many people they need to sign anyway. All right, we're gonna lock in. Whew. Whew. Let's do it back clean. Oh, I didn't have anything left on the jerk, but that's all right. As long as we can get that again, like I did last week on Saturday, I'll be happy with that. But we're not trying that again, that's for sure. Not worth the squeeze. Oh well. Yeah. Yeah, that's the cool thing with Carlos, though, is like, I mean, clearly they know what's happening. To me, it's more interesting, less of like what he's taking in particular, but more like if they're just doing bribes or like how they're allowing him to take drugs and compete. But even though they are, it's interesting to see him lift numbers that are close to like what the historical people did um, from that aspect. So, and with like worse technique too, which is very interesting too. But appreciate it, Daniel. Yeah, Saturday we'll definitely get more. I mean, I'll be more recovered, clearly, since I won't have done a 500-pound squat and snatch deadlift the previous day. So glad I hit the 140. Really happy at the 120. I was honestly more surprising that didn't feel bad, or like I was able to even get up to that. The clean was definitely rough with that 151 that's just out in front, but I think a lot of that can be attributed to the fatigue from yesterday, which, is a factor. But and I guess the other good thing is like my left knee isn't giving me any issues too, so I can actually, think about attacking the weight, which is the biggest thing right now. So definitely make sure I wear long pants because the wraps are like cutting into my legs. But yeah, Saturday will be like the last heavy day before next week, and then mosquitoes flying around now. But Monday will be a no foot snatch day again and power clean, but they'll be much more controlled. So probably at most 110 in the no foot, and then hey Reed, yeah, it's been going pretty well. So I got the singlet out to use today, and I got up to 120 in the snatch, and then 140 in the clean jerk, and then I missed the jerk on 151, but the clean was much too difficult. But definitely the left knee is feeling good, so I'm not having any like apprehension to like dip drive or anything like that. So that part's really good. I have a bug zapper. I just need to plug it in. It's just one of those things that the bugs haven't really been that bad. But yeah, definitely in the summer. Really, I mean, at any point I could really just turn that on and have it because it does help. Actually, helps tremendously out here. But I didn't really notice any mosquitoes till like right now. But yeah, did the work's been real good. So we got field day Monday. That's been planned. The mosquito's going right in front of my face. There could be more interesting things to talk about work in the summer. Nothing that's going to be radical like last year as far as like a new school district, but there could be more interesting stuff to talk about depending on how some things shake out. But that's not a story for today. But work could be interesting in that regard. But it's going really well. Field day's Monday, and then that next week is the last full week, and then the 22nd is the last student day, and then they leave an hour early, so that's a really short day. I don't know if we leave early too, I'd assume, but that's a really short day for the students on their last day, and then whatchamacallit, I think we work the 23rd, so yeah, that's right there. So Monday is the big. After Monday, it's really just smooth sailing. But the field day, it's all planned and stuff. But that's like, for for a phys ed teacher, that's kind of the big event for the year. So that's always like I guess in some sense stressful, but I mean, thankfully, there's been a lot of support. Yeah, it's a manlet lifting, um, but grad school classes are done for the until I think the 13th is when my next one opens. But I just have one for the first half and then three in the second half. Unfortunately, that's how it worked out. I would have rather just taken all four right at the front of the summer, but it's not how they worked out. But I'll be done after the second half of the summer and I'll be up to 70,000 next year, which is really crazy high. And then the year after that, if I do the 15 additional hours, I'll be up to 75. And then if I get the year after that, the 30, and this is assuming the same contract, because we'll get a new contract at some point. So that number actually be a little bit higher, probably. But then the year after that, so in 3 years, um, if with my master's plus 30, then I'll be up to 80. Then I'll just be like, I'll be actually rich. Like it's actually absurd. But financially, still the goal is to get the house paid off by the end of, was it this year? I think next year. By the end of next year. Yeah, the end of next year, because now soon I'll be done. This mosquito just loves flying right in front of my face. I'll be done paying for grad school, so then I won't have any like big expenses. But yeah, like once because the additional, so this master's, it's more expensive because it's a full degree. To do additional classes, they aren't really that expensive, so I'm not really worried about accounting for them. And it's only 15 credit hours that I have to get, and usually I think each class is usually like three. So in a year, so I won't do obviously any extra in the fall or in the summer, but this fall or potentially in the spring, I'll look to do a couple of grad school level or graduate courses, but they won't be towards a degree. So in theory, I think they'll be, I don't say easier because these weren't freaking mosquito. Um, they won't be like crazy difficult, but they won't be super difficult. They'll be easier than this and probably cheaper too. That's the bigger thing. So I'll be able to, because that's what five classes then. So if I did two, if I did, I mean, I'll have to find something in the fall. But if I did like one in the fall, two in the, as many, one in the spring, and then I could just do the rest in the summer, with what's available, and then be done with the 15, because that's really just five classes. So just do three in the summer, and then be vibing. Because you can only go one step a year. That's otherwise I would push really hard to get to the full 30 by next year, and go crazy with that. But unfortunately, you can only go one step a year, so I'm not worried about going too crazy with all of that. Yeah, I definitely got bit by a mosquito. That's fun. But yeah, next week the plan still, now that my knee is, uh, not being weird, then I'm feeling confident in being able to, lift some decent numbers, or at least, have the ability to lift some decent numbers. Really, so tomorrow will be, in theory, a pretty heavy front squat if I can manage it, but it's not a do or die type day with that front squat. And then maybe a jerk if I feel like it. And then Saturday will be the last heavy day as far as like a total. Monday will be a no foot and power clean day, but they're like more controlled. And then Tuesday will be back squat and a pull, but controlled again, so not like will be 200 kilos, or I don't know exactly what I plan, but not crazy heavy. And I could even push that all together on Monday and just have Tuesday be an off day. Wednesday might be the last day of lifting. So the last competition I did, I took off Thursday and Friday before lifting and lifted really well. So that could be what I do again. But um, Thursday or next Wednesday could be last snatch, clean and jerk, and then front squat session. And then I'll probably still want to do something Thursday next week, whether it's just muscle snatches. Um, yeah, so that's the 17th. Um, so that's next Saturday, or not the Saturday, but the next one. So yeah, I had some worries about it because of my left knee kind of acting up and preventing me from being able to do heavy jerks. So I was worried about that, but that seems to be all be straightened away, and the legs are strong, and the shoulders. I forgot I actually did overhead pressing yesterday too, so I doubt that impacted my jerks that much, but definitely the squats and the snatch deadlift probably did a little bit. But yeah, so I have that next week, and the plan is still to open at 123 in the snatch, and then the clean and jerk is kind of, I would say it's always up in the air, but I'm trying to push myself to be more aggressive in this meet because I always do like my opener, and it's super easy because you're so like pumped up at the meet. So my last warm up in the back is going to be 157, and I have a feeling that like if it's like the last meet where I did 155 in the back, and I was like, I don't know, like I don't know if I feel good, and I dropped my opener, or I kept my opener, or whatever at 60. Um, like I feel like if I'm aggressive and I can do 157 well in the back, and then or even just do it, and then hit 63 as an opener, then just go right to 170 and take two cracks at that. But um, depends how things play out. Because the reason for 63 to open in theory is if I can snatch 130, then if I do 163, then that would be or a total PR, whether it's training or competition, and a competition total PR. Obviously, it'd be competition snatch PR, but um, then obviously everything after that would just be going for the 300 total. If I was able to do that, so some of it's contingent on the snatch. I'm actually more confident in the snatch than I am the clean jerk right now, but um, snatches just are going well, which is really good. Like they're like today, I got to 120 without missing, and I caught them all well, mostly, and it's just nice. It's nice to be confident with those because I always feel like the clean jerks will just. I always say it sounds like the bro thing. It's like they'll be there meet day, but like you get a lot more in competition um, with clean and jerks than you do in snatches. Snatches are more of a. I mean, the strength is always there, but it's more of a precision thing. I found my shoes. Oh, they're over here. Oh, that's really annoying that the mosquito bit my arm. That's going to be obnoxious, but I also bit my leg down there. I'm just too delicious and sugary. It's unfortunate for me. I'm too sweet, but I also lifted in the Ramaleos today, and they actually felt really good, so I might just continue to rock with them. Not that I don't like the cheers, but I don't know. I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. As long as it's comfortable on my feet, I don't think it'll make much of a difference, but I might just rock those again and lift with those. But happy that I hit 140 in the jerk. They're clean jerk, I guess, and didn't have any discomfort. The yeah, full of sugar and poo. You ain't wrong. The perfect combo. The Wombo combo. But I'm looking forward to the competition. Like I'm pretty confident in what I'm going to be able to do. I'm healthy right now, which is big. My legs are like I would say. I mean, honestly, I hit PRs and weight 190 front squat, which I haven't done in a while, and then a lifetime PR in the back squat, and like the 500 squats are like the 225, 227 squats are consistent and moving well. So it's like my legs are pretty much as strong as they're ever going to be, or at least they're as strong as they ever have been, I should say. Hopefully, I can get them stronger at some point, but it's not as if I do everything right, like I won't stand up a clean or whatever like that. I just have to make sure I do it, do it well, technically, for all the lifts. But the strength is there. The shoulder feels good. The knee feels good. Really, it's funny too. It's like my right knee hasn't. I've been so focused on the left knee. The right knee has just been chilling. So I don't even like have any discomfort with the right knee. So it's ironically like before it wasn't like bad. It was just like quad tendonitis a little bit, but I would feel it. But now I don't. So hopefully, as I continue to do well, I should say kind of start to deload because yesterday was like the last heavy strength day, especially like pull wise. And even though like there wasn't a maximal squat, it's still pretty heavy. So it's like trying to deload those. I guess tomorrow will be the last like actual like aggressive strength day if I'm feeling good. And then it's really like the last week trying to move fast and then making sure you don't do too much and kind of letting all the fatigue dissipate. Because at least for me, it's like the peak is more important to be able to hit the heavy weights that you need to hit to have the confidence. and it's really like the deload is kind of the week before, but it's not as if I'm not going to try to lift at all or lift heavy or anything like that. But just really trying to make sure it's controlled. Uh, make sure you don't do too much. That's really about all you can do, and then see what's there at the meet. But yeah, I think I would say so. I kind of also try to think of like what if things go poorly? What would be a bad meet? Because obviously you're like I want to go 6 for 6 or blah blah blah, but I'm also not going to lift so light that I go 6 for 6 because I'm not. I'm going for lifetime PRs. But I would say if I can hit 123 and then go to 127 and say I miss 130, like 127 would be a competition PR. So like that's why I want to go to 127 on the second attempt. 123 is a kilo heavier than I opened last time, and would be a 4 kilo jump. But yeah, I'm trying to be. I hope so. That's just have to lift correctly. But yeah, I think definitely like once the fatigue dissipates, then like I'll feel really good walking into the meet, just because I'm so strong right now relative to like my best numbers. So um, I'm hopeful for that. But like if I had a miss 130, I mean, which is very possible. Like it's not a guarantee lift I'd make on a third attempt. Like 127 would still be a really good competition PR, and then that would probably make me be less aggressive with the clean and jerk. So I would probably honestly open at like 61 or something and just drop that down a little bit, and then try to do 67 because that would be a competition PR, and then try something heavy on the third. So the snatch will determine some things, but not everything. I'm not gonna go all out to just hit a competition total PR and like get hurt or something like that. But if really, I mean, if I did 127 and 167, that would still be a competition total PR and obviously like a clean jerk PR. So it's like there's flexibility with those. So like the perfect thing is hit 130 in the snatch and then open at 163, and then that like even if I went and missed 170 twice after that, like that's already a total PR, competition total PR, obviously a snatch competition PR. It wouldn't be a clean jerk PR, but um, it would be just really really good total if even though I just hit that. And maybe the 163 it doesn't go well or whatever, and then I can adjust it from there. But 300 total would be the perfect day, but I think it would truly have to be a perfect day for me to be able to do. So I'm not trying to be depressed if I don't do that, because I haven't clean and jerk 170, I haven't jerked 170. It's not like it's a weight I've attempted in a clean and jerk, so it's very very aggressive thought to even have. But um, I always leave like competitions thinking I have more in the clean and jerk, so I'm trying to set that up to where I can dial it back a little bit if it feels bad, but try to you know I don't even want to set minimums. Just hit a snatch and hit a clean jerk and see what I can put together. But yeah, I'm pretty confident in it, and as long as I don't, my shoulder doesn't explode like last year, then I should be all right. And honestly, like it feels good um, where it's at now. And I was having a lot more issues last year, but even before the competition with getting it stable, and not even like so much in the pain. It was just like a lot of pressing out and a lot of difficulties of just getting it to be stable when I caught it. So I think I've done a better job training snatches before this competition than last year in general. I was just not trying to go as crazy. I mean, still going heavy with them, but not just destroying myself with them. And clean jerks kind of just got weird for a little bit. But what's what's not to be something's got to go weird in a prep, or something's got to go bad. Otherwise, I would just get stronger forever. But yeah, I'm pretty confident in what I can do, and I'm looking forward to it. If my and it was weird because I got to a point where it's like I had a couple sessions where I literally couldn't clean jerk above 125 or 120, and I was like I can't clean and jerk. It's not even like oh I just have to like I had taken ibuprofen and was still feeling it, but now it's like I haven't taken ibuprofen in a couple days, and it's all good now. And like the dip drive, like I'm aggressive with it, so it's like it should be there, especially when I'm fresh. More. And I think at a competition, I'll have all of the hyperness of the meat to take on the clean jerk. But yeah, 163 opener would be nice, and then go hog wild with 170. Because I'll probably, unless there's someone crazy strong there, I'll probably be the last person lifting too. So that'll also, like, I'll be able to go. So let's say I hit 163 on the opener. With the way that it's loaded, I would just let the auto load go to 164, and then bump up to 167, something above 165, or 165 wouldn't matter. And so then you have to put the collar and the clip on, and then because that would be, oh, would they put the blue on for that? I think they would put the blue on for that. So that would take some time, and then putting the 170 on, they would have to take the collar off to put the red on. So I guess they could. And usually where I go, they usually are pretty nice about that. So they're not trying to be a holes to, like, you know they usually try to give you more time, especially if I'm the last lifter. The owner there is really nice about that. Like, oh, we got to clean the platform. Like, not really, like, I don't say he's cheating, but, like, doing things within the rules to give me a extra 30 seconds or whatever if you can. So um, I'll try to make sure remember to utilize that because he's always been good about that. Anytime I've been there, and I've been like the last lifter there. But who knows? Maybe there's someone that's really strong there, and it doesn't matter. Like, we can give each other. He tries to time me out or something like that, but it hasn't been an occurrence lately, and I would imagine that this the time of year that this competition is, it's probably not a popular one for, like, the heavier lifters that are going to be at American Open finals and stuff like that to be lifting in. But you never know. We'll find out. But I do need to purchase my USAW membership. So I've been waiting to do the month thing until I was a month out, and then I forgot until. I mean, I can do it there. It's not a very difficult thing to do. You just have to do it. Um, so I'm a legal lifter, but yeah, I don't know. Saturday will tell me a lot. This Saturday, I mean, ideally, I would get up to 163 in the clean and jerk, but if I hit 123 again in 157, like, I'd be happy with hitting both of those numbers. If I can hit 127 in the snatch too, that would be really good. And we'll have to see, because, like, if I can get, even if I had a session just like today on Saturday, like, I'm still pretty confident as long as I'm consistently lifting those numbers building up. But obviously, you like to get closer to those, especially like the week out. That's hopefully close to your openers, or for, like, the snatch, usually close to all the attempts, at least first and second. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. But I have to recover extra hard and make sure I don't randomly max out my deadlift. But I don't think I gotta worry about that. I got enough self control for that. But tomorrow, front squats. So I'll be working up to, I mean, maybe a 196 attempt. So we'll have to see. I'll be very curious how I feel tomorrow, in general. And maybe they don't feel great, because last week felt like a dream. Like, it just felt really weird that I did 185 and it felt easy, because I haven't done 185 in a while, and then 190. So, like, that could just be like an aberration, however you say that. It could just be like, all right, that was just one off thing, and, like, you just are not gonna feel that good with the front squats again, which I'm kind of trying to mentally make it okay with myself if it's like that. But I'm also not trying to lowball myself, because, like, I thought 185 was the limit last week. I thought that would be like a even more difficult than how even the 190 look, and then I was able to go up and do 190. And when I finished it, I was like, I think I could have done more. Like, it was a very weird. Not that I would have necessarily even wanted to. Like, wouldn't have made sense logically to try to do more, because I can do more tomorrow. But yeah, 196 would be a lifetime PR, so that would be ideally what I would jump up to. If I can do, I don't know. I'll think about jumps when I'm out here training, but um, that would be the ideal thing. And I mean, kind of based on how my legs are right now, I think it's definitely possible. But it's kind of if the front rack agrees with me, and last week it really did. So we'll have to see. But thanks for popping by, Reed and Daniel. Appreciate you hanging out. Talk to you guys later. Deuces.